Hi guys, welcome from Mushroom Kingdom. So I'm going to be doing 7.8 from Mario Land. Yay! So I told you guys in the last video I'm going to try and do things to keep things silly. I know we're struggling sometimes with some of this math stuff, but this one I know we know how to do. This is stuff that we have already done, so we're going to be in good shape. All right. So if you've been watching the videos that we've been doing in the past couple of lessons, you've seen this, I promise you, because this is what we did very, very first when we started factoring. This is what we have done every single time. If we have done an X and then factored, this is what we were doing. So this is going back into hitting that factoring by grouping again. We're doing things in a different order just so that all of the algebra teachers show everything in the same order right now so we can make sure everybody's seeing the same thing. So that's why sometimes we're kind of jumping around. We had new stuff a couple of weeks ago. We're getting some old stuff now, and that's okay. Easy week for us, all right? So what we're going to do is I'm going to go through example 1 in this video, A and B, and then I will do another video with our other example. All right? So we're going to start with example 1A. I've got it up here on the screen. I'm going to switch to yellow. So since it has it here, when you've got it on your paper, write it down. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to break this up into our parentheses. Remember, this is when we want to always have a plus in the middle. It's important. We've gone through what happens when we don't. Everything gets really wonky. All right? So, factoring by grouping, always have a plus in the middle. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look at each of these pairs. We're going to find the greatest common factor on those two. All right, so the greatest common factor of those two is actually going to be an x squared. I can take two x's out of both of those. What's left over when I take x squared out is just 1x, and then we're going to have a plus 3. All right, when we look at this second pair, our greatest common factor of 2x and 6 is going to be 2. So this plus comes down, the 2 is still there. When I take 2 out of 2x, we're left with just an x. When I take 2 out of 6, we're left with just 3. This is the way that we can check and make sure we're doing things right, is we are going to look and make sure this guy matches that guy 100% exactly, twinsies, whatever you want to call it. They match exactly, so we know we did do it right. So now we just have to write this in factored form. So we're going to have our x plus 3, and then we write these outside guys over here, our x squared plus 2. And that's it for this. We've done this before, which is why this one's going to seem to go probably really fast. So this is our answer right here. We're done. Yay! All right, so let's go look at 1B. 2 different letters. Don't forget, we'll be fine. All right, so we're doing the same thing. Same thing again. Split it up with parentheses, bust it up into pairs. What should I be doing first? I missed a step, didn't I? Every single time, what should we check for? Our GCF. Is there anything I can pull out of all 4 pieces? Nope. That's why I didn't remember to say it, because we always check for a GCF and then we factor. All right, so now we're doing our factoring by grouping. It will get important in the second video because we're going to have to start checking everything for GCFs again. Woo. All right, so now we've got this busted up into our parentheses, and we're going to pull the GCF out of each pair. Look at this first pair. Is there anything I can pull out of there? All I can pull out is a 1. That doesn't work well. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to rearrange it. And that dark blue is not going to show up. So let's do our light blue. So what I want to do is I want to try and make things match up in a way that I can at least pull some factor out of both things. So I see a y and a y term. So let's rearrange them. Just play shuffle the cards to put them where we want them to be. So let's put that x squared over here with that other random x. And then we're going to put the y and the xy. So I didn't change anything. I just changed the order. I shuffled them up just like a deck of cards. That way, I actually can pull something out. If you need to rearrange things, that's totally fine. All right? So if you can't pull a factor out, try shuffling things around. See if you can find a pair that has something in common and put them next to each other. So now what we're going to do is the same thing we tried before. Split it up into pairs. Now I've got something I can pull out of this front pair. I can take out, that color. I can take out an x. And when I pull an x out of x squared, I'm left with just x. When I take an x out of x, I'm left with just 1, right? All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over here. What's my greatest common factor between y and xy? Why, that would be y. Why? I don't know. But that's okay. Y'all, I'm home by myself for a long time. Or just with my kids. I'm just making my puns at you. Come on. All right. So now I'm going to take y out of y, and we're left with just 1. And I take y out of x, y out of xy, and we just left with just plus x. All right? So now the question becomes, does this guy match that guy? Is x plus 1 exactly the same as 1 plus x? Yes, it is. They're exactly the same. They don't look exactly the same because they're shuffled. But remember, it's okay to change the order as long as we don't change the meaning. All right? So that is ready. We did factor that correctly. So all we need to do now is write this in our factored form. So we're going to do our x plus y. This guy and this guy is how I got that. And then I'm going to put our x plus 1 because we want it in that standard form. We haven't talked about that in a hot minute. Biggest exponent to smallest exponent. So we put the letter in front of the number. Just math grammar. It's not wrong to have 1 plus x, just bad math grammar. All right? So that's all I'm going to do in this video. So more examples to come. I just don't want these videos to get too long. So I miss you guys. I'll see you later.